Hello to many of you who are here for my first session, and welcome those of you who are coming for the first time. So as Howard said, I'm Nicole, and I'm going to basically ask you a few questions to start because I'm always curious. When was the last time you paused because of a curb appeal experience? Just think to yourself. I know for me it doesn't happen a lot. Granted, I'm a retail geek, so I'm harder to impress, but it doesn't happen enough. Introduce new marketing efforts to your business. What about introduce new event strategies to your store, or use data to understand your consumers, offered any type of educational experience, or reacted to weather in advance of your store, or rocked your customer service expectations? What about introducing sustainability into your business efforts, or did something unexpected? So today we're going to talk about tips, tricks, and techniques that you can realistically use to thrive within a very competitive retail environment. So let's go ahead and kick it off with retail reality number 1. Curb appeal needs more attention. Okay? So strong curb appeal should positively influence buyer behavior. It should provide clarity to what is being sold and offer flexibility for exterior updates. So let's take a look at what this really means. So walked by this store one day. Anybody think you know what they sell? Because I definitely did not, okay? This store. This is a funny story. A gal that I went to high school with, 20 years later, I walked by this store in New York City. We grew up in Chicago. She owns this. I walked in that store, not knowing that, but I loved it. I thought she had pretty strong curb appeal, right? It caught my attention, made me stop in my tracks. And what about this store? So a bunch of varieties of storefronts out there for sure. We're going to look at them all in more detail in a bit. And then, of course, another storefront here, another storefront here. So curb appeal goals should ultimately help customers understand what their immediate next steps are, okay? Because if you're walking by a store and you're not hitting pause, that store did not do its job to capture your attention, okay? Because sometimes we go into stores without planning to go into stores, right? But we are drawn to the aesthetic of how that exterior experience speaks to you. So through signage, displays, windows, awnings, and floor communications, we're going to look at that in more detail. So Julie, that is all I know about this store. Julie has a boutique. I'm sure Julie's a lovely woman. But Julie has given me zero understanding of what she sells in her boutique. All I know is that it's Julie's boutique, okay? So with that, the opportunity for her would have been for her to use the awning to clarify what is there. Is it home goods? Is it gifts? Is it novelty? Is it children's? Is it candy? Okay? What about the floor right in front of her doorstep? Even a simple welcome mat. But nowadays you can actually customize that to make sure it speaks more directly to your consumer or your branding, okay? Her logo is so small that if it were nighttime, or if you are above 40 years old and you are one of the 50% of Americans who wear glasses, this might not be ideal for you to even see it, even in daylight, right? So all these factors are influential. Now if we look at this, Lockwood, she did the opposite. She took the awning and said, I'm going to make a statement with this. She did it in the black and white, but I'm also going to let people know where to go in case they can't come in today. LockwoodShop.com. Okay, and those of you who sat into my first session know that the path to purchase is not always straight. Somebody's buying journey might have started when they walked right by Lockwood, but they had no time to hit pause and go in that store. But now, thanks to the accessibility of having smartphones in our hands, most of us, someone could pull a picture out or pull their phone out, take a picture, and make sure that they can be in touch with Lockwood later, okay? Not only is it memorable within their photo files, but they actually have an easy-to-go-to.com. They don't have to Google first. They've already identified where they go, and their phone number's right there too. Plus, she brought the store out. Now, I get it. You can't always do this in every neighborhood, and some inventory, like much of your inventory, might not make sense to do that. But think about what might make sense for your unique business. So here, I like that on the left side at the bottom, it actually does identify that they do design, they do consultation, they do various things. But on that right window, they wasted the opportunity to still communicate, okay? They could have put their website address there, right? So they did go ahead and give some clarity to the type of jewelry store they are, but they still missed opportunity with some of the further details they could have shared. And these are all just opportunities to enhance clarity to the customer. And here, they have a great window, and the floor within that store is bare enough that they could also use that bottom space, probably with a white font vinyl to go on those windows to help clarify. It says fine jewelry, but what else? Could they put their store hours there? Could they put their store website there? Could they offer more details, like maybe wedding, graduation? What are they unique in? Only they can answer that, but the opportunity is there, and that's what you guys need to walk away with understanding. So this is custom design jewelry. It also has repair and restoration, okay? On premises, it said, right? So what if this other guy behind us, Radiance, had done that same thing and said watch repairs or whatever it might be that they uniquely offer, and that speaks and resonates with the customer. So you want to make sure that your exterior space really offers value to your branding, marketing, your overall opportunity to connect with the customer. You want to put yourself in the customer's shoes, because it's very easy to stand outside your own store and feel like you get it. Like, oh, I'm good, we got it, I get it. But now pretend you're someone else. Ask a stranger, right? Ask a friend, hire a mystery shopper, okay? These are going to give you advantages for you to better understand how others perceive your business, not just on the outside, but also inside as well. So, does your storefront, you want to ask yourself, clearly identify what is being sold, provide signage to direct customers with what to do next, deliver store hours for easy viewing, entice your customers to want to come inside, or does it confuse your customers in any way, like our friend Julie? Okay? So you want to make sure the reality is you recognize what your weaknesses are so that you can then work on those opportunities to strengthen them. Okay, that's my challenge to you. Signage, displays, windows, awnings, floor communications, these are all avenues in which you can better communicate to your audience. Strong curb appeal should positively influence buyer behavior, provide clarity on what's being sold, and offer flexibility for exterior updates, okay? So seasonal changes, things like that. Our next reality is that signage can help communities and businesses speak to customers, okay? Data tells us that 1/3 of customers do not want to talk to store staff. 1/3 of customers don't want to talk to store staff, okay? Who here doesn't want to talk to store staff sometime, right? In their own shopping experiences. I see a lot of positive yeses there. So if you keep that in mind, it's going to allow you to better answer your own questions of, well, dang, what do I got to do to make sure that they still hear me, right? So with that, communicate via window signage, door signage, awning signage like we discussed, but also interior, you want to make sure your counter signage, okay? Sharing details that might expand. You offer gift cards or gift wrapping or BOPIS, buy online, pick up in store. You know, what are the details that you can actually communicate through various signage? Floor signage, displays, hanging signage, banners. We're going to look at this all in more detail. And of course, shopping bags. If you have a shopping bag that is not branded, you're missing opportunity. Because when people leave your store, that shopping bag becomes an opportunity for others to learn about you or remember you, or for that same customer to be reminded of you, okay? So you want to consider these 3 tips when we're talking about signage. Look down, look up, look left and right, okay? So look down, look up, look left and right. When you're in your own store, what experience does that give you, okay? But now pretend you aren't you, but you're someone who's walking into your store for the first time. How can signage further elaborate your experience? So floor mats can promote business or vendors. They can simply be a welcome mat, but use it as clarity, make it branded. Floor decals can do the same on the floor. Now I realize decals might not be your thing in this loud, bold way, but there are so many decals you can have them customized. Like you can put a simple arrow that says, you know, this way to engagement rings or this way to fun jewelry surprises. You have to consider what your brand is and the messaging and how you want to communicate. Make it fun if that's your message. Make it classy if that's your message. But consider how floors can communicate. You can even make a kid area in your store so that those who are actually spending money and have to bring their kiddos along can actually be entertained, and that will keep your customers, your spending customers, also more entertained longer. So left, right, up, down, there's always something anywhere for customers to be engaged with. And you want to make sure that you're offering customers an opportunity to actually feel engaged no matter where they look. So signage can help by directing them, okay? Like if you actually have categories, if your store is so big that you want to actually say, diamonds or custom or watch repairs, whatever it might be, you want to make sure that signage can do that. So ceiling signage is a great way. Every store is different, so it's hard for me to tell you exactly what's going to make sense for your unique store, but just consider how that's helping your customers. Digital signage is also a great way to introduce communication into your store strategy because you can change it often, okay? And vendors often provide you images as well that you can update. And sometimes you don't even need a whole wall space. Sometimes you're using like an iPad, right? That might be locked and secured within a counter tap, or something that allows for customers to browse other samples, or potentially if you do custom work, past custom work that's been completed, and they can browse through and see what's already been done. That's all great opportunities through digital communication. So signage should identify not only inventory details, but also alert customers to upcoming events, which we will talk about some event ideas here soon. You want to share how-to tips, how to clean jewelry, right? How to maintain new jewelry that might be purchased. Promote any press received. So if you've received local visibility within your hometown or national, whatever scale it's been, make sure you do brag about yourselves. You guys deserve that, okay? Suggest add-on items. So sometimes something that you purchase might lend itself to also saying, hey, people who've bought this might also like that, okay? Offer additional sale opportunities, encourage future visits, making sure you're identifying if there's any events coming up, if you have an event calendar. Provoke customer interest through signage, and of course, generate customer conversation or questions, okay? So, and inform. Sorry, when this transferred from one computer to other, things got moved around. So do you do jewelry repairs? Do you offer jewelry redesign? Or do you clean jewelry or do watch repairs? So the idea is you're putting your customers to work. Remember, 1/3 of customers don't want to talk to you, but if you're incorporating signage into your store strategy, you're putting them to work because they're still learning about you, even if they never want to say a word to you, okay? Some other ways to do this would be to incorporate what I call selfie stations or Instagrammable moments through signage. You're basically encouraging your customers to hit pause and get engaged within your store environment. If you don't have a spot in your store to dedicate like this, you can just make one of these Instagram boards, okay? Local printers do this all the time now for Sweet 16 parties. There's no reason they can't be doing it for your own business as well. It's an affordable way. If someone in the middle of that showing off her new ring, or they're just having a good girls outing shopping one afternoon, whatever it might be, but guess what's going to happen? If you brand it with your own social media handle stuff, you encourage them to post it, you're now generating more publicity to your store, okay? Because they're pushing it out in their networks. And I would go one step further and add a hashtag on there and your handle a little bit more bold so that they can follow along with you as well. So this is greatest too. This is not a jewelry store, but it's showing you how they took a local community event. So if you're positioned within like a main street or an area that does community events, go ahead and leverage that. Incorporate things that are going to help promote and push that experience via social media as well. They do Santa selfie contests. You could bring Santa in your store and have a Santa selfie contest in your store, okay? And so there's a lot of fun things you can do that might not be directly tied to actual jewelry, but it's an event experience. If you were here earlier, I mentioned shoppertainment, things that are going to encourage customer engagement. So customers want Wi-Fi. So you need to start making sure you're identifying if Wi-Fi is available, okay? It's allowing retailers to accommodate the 21st century customer, prefer their shopping experiences, and welcome customers to stay longer. The smartphone's getting smarter. For many people, the smartphone is the least smart part of the actual phone. And we talked about how shopping is, in fact, a very common avenue for customers to use on the smartphone. All reasons you need Wi-Fi. And then those of you who were here earlier, I did share this. I'm going to share it again. Cloud4Y.com. This is so important. It's going to allow you to actually connect with customers by capturing their data, okay? So Wi-Fi now allows retailers to do that. It gives them accessibility to Wi-Fi, and then it ultimately gives you data from the customer. So sustainability is becoming increasingly important. In fact, it was reported recently that over 70% of customers would prefer to shop places that they know are being socially conscious to the environment, okay? Now, Does that mean that they're recycling in their store, or they're offering buy online, pick up in store versus just shipping? There are a lot of variables in that report, but the reality is that sustainability is becoming a conversation that's mattering to consumers. 87% would shop at stores who identify as being sustainably responsible, okay? That was reported by Ben.com, whereas 79% would not shop at stores who do not share the same sustainability values, okay? So are you sourcing your diamonds in a way that you have found to be a preferred way versus another? Or are there other efforts within your own personal business that you find that might resonate with those people who lend themselves to caring more about socially conscious purchases, okay? Whatever your efforts might be, whether it's inventory related or operational best practices, these are things you want to start communicating through your store, email marketing, social media, because there are a lot of customers who resonate with that. And when it comes time for them to make a purchase decision, they might do so simply based on the fact that you've shared something that they resonate with. So whether it's recycling in your store, possibly supporting environmental incentives, or participating in sustainability efforts of any kind. Are you promoting these? Are you rewarding customers for sustainability? One retailer I know invests in really great branded bags, and if that same customer brings that bag back, they get a 10% off a future purchase, okay? So that bag is something that they're saying, hold on to this, use it again, okay? It's a higher quality bag that they might be carrying around town to bring groceries in or other things, but they're saying if you bring it back to the store, I'm also going to give you an incentive on a future purchase. That is considered sustainability, okay? So you want to look at the creative ways in which you can incorporate sustainability efforts. You're trying to do more good in general, okay? Causes matter. This is another thing to think about. A lot of customers resonate with causes, okay? Community matters. A lot of customers resonate with community. So I'm from Colorado. I really like to shop small, okay? I also like to shop from places, like if I'm buying produce or something, that are locally sourced, right? So I resonate with this logo that is a logo that I might see at stores that sell those things, okay? Charity matters. So do you guys actively participate in any charities, you know? These are questions to ask yourself and then say, how does this value my audience? You might find that it does resonate with other people, okay? Being a part of community, being a part of causes, these are all things that really matter. So charity, Children's Alopecia Project. My son has alopecia. If you don't know what that means, it means he's totally bald. He could have a little spot, but he was bald at 4. No hair, not a lick. So that's an important thing to me, right? So in my business, that's where we choose to donate. You need to find out what it means to you and how you can communicate to your audience. Even having charity that people don't always resonate with, the fact that you're being a part of a charity is often what resonates with customers. And then causes. This is like a hometown heroes thing. They do a chili cook-off. Like, are you being a part of causes within your community, okay? These are all ways to connect with other customers and potentially build customers. So the key is don't be shy. I know for some people it's go under the radar, but the reality is we're in business to make money, right? We're in business to build longevity. And you want to make sure that all these things are becoming increasingly important to consumers, which are causes, community, charity, sustainability, that you aren't shying away from making sure they know. Okay? You can do so from a tasteful matter. Okay? And I think that's key as well. So reality number 5, weather is going to impact your community and your business. Who here knew that IBM bought the weather company? So IBM bought the weather company. Any idea why? Because weather allows for businesses to be more predictive and more proactive with their efforts. If we know that a huge thunderstorm is coming this Sunday, we're probably going to react to that. We might change our flights. We might go shopping. Okay? There's a lot of things we can do. So weather impacts retailers in so many different ways on immediate as well as future spending patterns. So you need to understand, how do you react to weather? Specials, sales, promotions. What has happened? So Karen Hollis, Batavia, Illinois, she's great. She uses it on social media. We have a lot of different things here. Lot of things to plan ahead for so that when weather comes, you can respond to. I'm going fast because I know that I have one more coming. So single channel, multi-channel. I don't know why I started. Okay, staples and statements can make or break you. Staples are your milk and your eggnog. You've got milk in your store, eggnog according to the holidays. You got diamonds, you got rubies, right? Red roses, pink tulips. Staples are going to get your customers into stores. It's what they want. Statements keep your customers there, okay? Staples and statements. What are yours? I challenge you to go back and figure it out, classify your business into categories, and then start to merchandise so that you put milk in the back of the store for a reason. You have to get milk. You walk by a million other things to get it, okay? Shoppertainment matters. Retail social, it's interactive, it's engaging, it's entertainment. Events allow you to do this. They're going to give you opportunities to make money as well. So look at your own community to leverage what they're doing, build off of that, but then make things into your own place. Another event I really love is coloring sheets. When people actually give coloring sheets out to kids, it's a contest, and then you use them as merchandising in your store. Well, guess what? They want grandma to come, they want their neighbor to come, they want their teacher to come, more people come see it. So there's a lot of different things. Also, educational experiences, okay? So how are you entertaining them? Data, I talked about this and I'll reinforce it, is everywhere. It's available, point of sale, web analytics, email marketing, online reviews, social media, doors, a foot traffic monitoring system. If I were to walk in that store right now and it was there and we all walked in and then it would tell us where we are in this room, it's going to push analytics to you guys as retailers. You'll know where your hot spots are for merchandising and your weaknesses. You need to review and take action though, be more proactive to be more precise. And email matters. It's one of the #1 drivers of commerce. Who does email? You guys do this? It's cost effective, it's immediate, it's mobile friendly, it's trackable. Customers like it. The thing is, you want to make sure you're looking at the analytics that come with that. The goal is to ultimately ignite sales, but gain customer data, text message marketing too. My final point today is that 3 steps to customer service. Be starstruck. Okay? These people, real life story, walked into a store that I had to help a friend who had because she was too ashamed that her employees weren't qualified to help them. So I volunteered. But how disappointing that she felt like her employees who help everyday customers couldn't do that. So you want to treat customers like royalty. In other words, you want to have expectations. Everyone should be totally trained in your store to help anybody that comes in. Brad Pitt, Angelina, or royalty. What does royalty have? They have expectations. Okay? Your store needs to have expectations and protocols. Finally, you want to get their autographs. If you're getting their autograph, credit card signature. But we know that that doesn't always mean that people are paying with credit card. It also means your email marketing, your social media. Stay in touch. Okay? So a lot of different things there. In order to support your community, you have to care about them, your audience. In order to support your community being your customers, you have to listen to them. You must stand in their shoes. Remember who the real boss is. It's the customers. You guys are not the boss. So in order to do that, strengthen your curb appeal, incorporate signage to help you speak, introduce Wi-Fi, support sustainability efforts. It's a growing trend in retail. Pay attention to the weather. Be more predictive and more precise. Pay attention to staples and statements in your store. Merchandise your store accordingly. Become an event planner. So important. Introduce data, but also review that data. Use email and text messaging. And of course, know who the real boss is. Because despite being small business owners, as many of us are, we are not the boss. Our customers are. Okay? Thank you, guys. I talk